The Battle of Osgiliath has begun, but which side of the conflict will you choose to command? Hey everyone, my name is Greg, and you're watching +1 to Hit. Today we're going to be looking at the new starter set for the Middle-earth strategy battle game, the Battle of Osgiliath. This box is jam-packed with Lord of the Rings goodness and is an excellent way to start playing this fantastic tabletop game. Inside this box, you're going to find 2 whole armies to start playing right away. You have the forces of good defending the city of Osgiliath, led by none other than Faramir himself. And on the opposing side, you have the raiding party of Morannon orcs, led by Gothmog, Lieutenant of Sauron. But perhaps the coolest part of this box, especially for veteran wargamers, is an amazing selection of Osgiliath Terrain. And finally, it has all the extra goodies you need to start playing right away. Dice, rulers, tokens, a quick start learn to play guide, as well as the entire full rulebook. The value of this box is pretty insane, so why don't we open this up and take a look at what's inside. The best part of any new Warhammer box is obviously the models. There's a pretty large variety of models in here, and all the hero characters have brand new sculpts. For the forces of good, you get Faramir, the captain of Gondor. You also get his 2 sidekicks, Damrod and Maedril. Just taking a look at the sprues alone reveals an immense amount of detail. Everything from their sword hilts, to their quivers, to the embossed leather armor that they wear. I feel like the sculptors did a fantastic job on these models, and it remains very faithful to how the characters appear in the movies. And commanding the forces of evil, we have Gothmog, the Lieutenant of Sauron. He's also sporting a stunning new model where you get a version of him mounted on his warg, as well as an on-foot, unmounted version. This new model is also fantastic and the detail is insane. Everything on him, from the fur to the leather strapping to his rough, jagged Morannon orc armor. It's actually wild as well how much the face on this model actually looks like the character from the movie. Now, before we look at the rest of the models, I just want to address something really quick. For those of you that didn't know, this Lord of the Rings wargame has actually been around for a very long time. Now, it's not quite as globally popular as Games Workshop's other games. So because of that, the rest of the models in this box can be a little old. Now, that's not to say that they don't look good or that they're poor quality. It is still Games Workshop. It's just that in an age where we have models coming out that look like this, that can make the models in this box just look a little bit more plain. Let's take a look and I'll show you what I mean. For the forces of good, you get 12 Gondorian warriors. These guys appear just like they did in the movies, and is personally one of my favorite armor designs in the films. Now, the first thing you might notice, especially if you've just gotten into Warhammer recently, is that all these models are pretty much one piece. You just clip the entire model off the sprue and stick it on a base. And this is where this older style of Games Workshop models kind of starts to show. The posing of the models can be a little less dynamic, and some places of the model, mainly along the mold lines and the faces, definitely kind of take a hit here. Since they don't have a dedicated single piece, it can mean that the detail on it is not as sharp and can be a little messy. But does this actually matter? Not really, in my opinion. You see, it can be very easy to hyper-focus on your models, especially when you're building them and painting them, but you have to remember that for the majority of their lifespan, they're going to be seen on a table being played from a pretty significant distance. So sure, maybe if you're a studio painter hoping to take really close-up, high-quality photos of these minis, the quality of them might leave you a little disappointed. But for the vast majority, this quality difference between these models and current-day Games Workshop models really won't make too much of a difference. Also, for the forces of good, you get 12 Rangers of Gondor. These guys are unfortunately the oldest sprue in this box, and you can definitely see it a little bit more here. Due to these guys being molded into one-piece minis, there's definitely some odd angles where the detail definitely doesn't show. But again, that's simply due to the fact that this game isn't quite as popular as their other games, so it doesn't get as many updated model releases. But who knows, that might change if we get more people playing this awesome game. Switching over to the Forces of Evil, you get a raiding party of 24 Morannon orcs. You get 2 identical sprues of 12, so you'll have 2 copies of each model. These orcs actually have a very nice variety of model poses and weapons that they're holding. Their armor designs stay true to the films, and again, due to them being mostly one-piece models, you can assemble your army very quickly. And this wouldn't be an army from Mordor without a troll. This guy is super cool, and because he comes in multiple pieces, doesn't actually suffer as much from the detail quality as the rest of the models here. He also has a fun selection of different head and weapon options, so you can make your troll look however you want him to. All in all, you get a very sizable starting force for each army in this box. And what better place for these armies to fight than in the ruins of Osgiliath. You get 4 sprues of insanely detailed Osgiliath terrain. Just like the brand new hero models, these terrain pieces are also brand new, and so you can expect the current Games Workshop quality. The absolutely insane thing with these terrain pieces is the instruction booklet gives you instructions to build 4 distinct terrain pieces. However, these parts look to be completely modular, so you can build whatever style and size of terrain you want. To a brand new wargamer, having terrain in your box may not seem too exciting, but I can assure you that the money you're saving in this box getting real-life terrain will only further enhance your gaming experience. As I mentioned earlier, you also get a full set of dice, a ruler, all the tokens you need to play the game, and some books. You get your instruction booklet, which teaches you how to build all your models and terrain that come in the box. You also get this very cool quick play guide that gives you 4 missions to play. The missions start small, but they get bigger and more complicated with each one. This way you can start learning the game small and work your way up to the entire Battle of Osgiliath. And finally, you get the full rules manual for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. This book is gorgeous. It's a fully hardcover book with a ribbon bookmark to keep your spot. It contains the full rules you need to play the game, as well as some scenarios for matched play. But get this book has something crazy about it that I wish Games Workshop would do with all their other books. The rulebook in this box is updated with all the rules changes, updates, and FAQs they've added to the game. So when you start reading this book, especially as a brand new player, you can rest assured that you're reading the most updated version of the game and won't have to go looking for extra rules. This is something I wish they would do with Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar. Whenever they put out a box set, they always include a rules manual, sometimes even the full rulebook, and I would love it if they were to compile all the updates to the game since then. But anyway, with this rulebook, with these models, with your new terrain and all the extra add-ons, you can start playing the Middle-earth strategy battle game. So why don't we put some of these models together and see what they look like after they're built? there you have it, guys, the entire built box of the Battle of Osgiliath. I had a blast putting this box together, and due to the simple natures of their miniatures, didn't actually take me that long to build. If you decide to split this with a friend, you can easily both take your forces, build them, and be playing that day. Despite their age, I honestly still think these models look great, and it makes my little Lord of the Rings heart very happy to see these on the table. Obviously, the brand new character models are absolutely insane and look fantastic. They really outdid themselves, and it's super awesome to see this game getting some support in the form of new models. I can only hope that this game continues to get more support and we get to see even more awesome new things coming out for it. And the terrain in this box is even better once it's built. It's jam-packed with detail while also remaining simple enough to quickly paint. It was relatively simple to build, although there were a lot of pieces. One word of caution I'll give you when you're building your terrain is that the numbers on the sprues that tell you which piece is what can be a little confusing. They're not always laid out the most efficient, and sometimes it can be hard to tell which number the piece is pointing to. So just be sure to take your time and reference the pictures that you're seeing in your instruction book with the sprue that you're holding in your hand, and you'll be just fine. All in all, I'm immensely happy with this box. It's got crazy good value for its price, has two awesome armies that are great to get you started, and the terrain and everything else included guarantees that you'll be playing awesome games in no time at all. Let me know below if you ended up getting this box and what parts about it you liked or maybe didn't like. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name is Greg, and this has been Plus One to Hit.